Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Black Friday Live. I'm your host, Dr. Mateen Diop, and as usual, we have some exciting guests, but today, I got these handsome gentlemen with me today from Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Before we get started, I'm going to let them introduce themselves one by one, so go ahead.
My name is Doug Ray. I am the chairman of the Alpha Educational Fund.
My name is Eric Prince. I'm the vice chair of the Alpha Educational Fund.
I'm Xavier Tosin, the Marketing Communications Chair of the Alpha Educational Fund.
I'm Brian Dunn. I'm the treasurer of the Alpha Educational Fund.
And I'm Nabu Foreman, vice president of the Delta Rho Lambda chapter.
So as you can see, talking to these brothers, they're doing some serious things. I'm intimidated just sitting here, but I'm so excited to actually sit here with you and talk to you about what you got coming up. But before we get into that, just kind of your Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated one more time. So where did you go to undergrad?
I went to undergrad right here. I was in the military, kind of a late bloomer.
Okay.
So I got my bachelor's degree from Wayland. I got my master's degree from Webster while continuing my military career.
Okay, undergrad.
Undergrad, Valdosta State down in Valdosta, Georgia. Pledged quite a few years ago.
Okay, all right.
Air Force vet, undergrad, University of Phoenix, MBA, University of Phoenix.
Okay.
Went to Jarvis Christian College, HBCU, Jarvis Christian College Bulldogs.
Okay, all right.
Went to a little school outside of ATL called Clayton State University.
Clayton State. So we got them coming from all over the place. But today you're on the couch here at Black Friday Live to talk about the Alpha Derby. And I've heard about the Alpha Derby. I know your DJs and all that kind of stuff. But kind of give me where the birthing of this Alpha Derby in San Antonio came from.
Well, I would say it comes originally from Atlanta. Atlanta had their Alpha Derby, and my brother here, Brother Prince, he had went down there. He said, let's go down there. They're doing some good things. And I went down there, and the first night before I can even get to Alpha Derby, I was sold.
Wow.
Let's do it here in San Antonio. And let's see what we can do. We got a live partnership with those guys, and they laid the groundwork, and we just continuing on the good work.
So, lots of fundraisers that you could do. Every organization does it, so why Alpha Derby?
I would say being that San Antonio is unique, there's several options out there, so there's plenty of room to go around. But when you look at it, there's nothing that's really derby themed. Knowing how good we look and how well we dress in the community, this was something to bring out. Also, just Retama Park is unique to Texas as well. It's one of the few actual racetracks.
Right.
So when you think of that and what Atlanta was doing, it just made sense to go ahead and mold it together.
Right.
And our community is definitely buying into it. So it kind of sold itself, and it's got a ton of momentum. So
okay, so are we kind of borrowing from the theme of the Kentucky Derby, the dress, the hawk? Is that what we're shooting for with the Alpha Derby?
Absolutely, it's centered around the central event on that Saturday for the Alpha Derby. So ours is the South Texas Alpha Derby. So it's all centered around that Kentucky Derby theme, and everything highlighted that entire event, and that's what it's all built around. So then the other events basically are offsets to highlight the key one. So
okay.
It is.
And so the proceeds from the Alpha Derby, we're going to be benefiting who?
Well, it's going towards our mentor program. So we have our national objectives that we have with our Project Alpha, our go to high school, go to college. But we have a number of students that we mentor, and young men and women that we mentor. So we want to take them on campus tours. We want to get them some more initiatives within the community, and some other programs we want to get them involved with.
Okay.
So we spend a lot of our resources supporting the community.
Right.
So when we ask for the community support, we need additional funding to basically help with those trips and those different things we want to do.
Okay.
So if we're going to do those, we say, hey, let's go ahead and give them something big.
Right.
So that way when they see the return on their investment, they're also happy knowing they had a great experience. Because we're trying to generate an experience, just not an event.
Well, now, when is the event? When is the Derby?
So the entire South Texas Alpha Derby goes from May 3rd to May 5th.
Okay.
The actual Derby is on that Saturday, May 4th.
Okay. So what is, you're from the east side of San Antonio, you don't get a lot of exposure to, what's a Derby? What is that?
So when you think about a derby, so even if you go back through a historical standpoint, because a lot of people don't even realize there's a huge contribution from actual black horse race jockeys.
Okay.
And when you go back and look at the previous times from Roaring 20s to so on and so forth, we've always worn suits well, haberdashery, bow ties, cufflinks, all this kind of stuff and everything. So it's always been a part of the immersive culture.
Okay.
It's just that since Churchill Downs is where it is located in Kentucky, when you look at it from a national perspective, you usually see that clientele dressed. But we've always dressed this way and everything. So the whole thing from a derby standpoint is a celebration of the event for the actual horse race, but it's also a big springtime event.
Okay.
Celebrate that, so that's why you get the sun hats and all those lovely fascinators and those things like that. And then the guys come breaking out in the seersucker suits because you don't want to wear all that heavy wool. You know, come on with the nice colors to offset it, so that way when you're out in the sunlight, they'll stand out too. So that way you're also a part of the event.
So there's going to be actual horse racing going on there. This is just because I thought, okay, you're going to have a party at Retama, but there's going to be actually horse racing going on.
So what we have, we're fortunate. So there'll be over 6,000 people there that day. But we have the entire bottom level. So we're creating a whole VIP type of experience. Now we're going to have track level, and they'll have some events that are going on, but everything is centered towards Churchill Downs that day. So they'll have live feeds on screens going on. We'll have teller machines, live tellers showing people how to help bet and everything. So when the pomp and circumstance start, we're going to be live feeding into Churchill Downs all around the entire facility, including the big screen across the track. So everything is going to be focusing, generating towards that, and that's what we're going to do. The VIP tables and what we have is called a foretop. There's 20 horses. So each table is going to have its own horse sponsor as well. So to help generate, keep that energy up and everything, because some people don't really know who the horses are. So just to generate it that way, I'm going to keep everything focused in for that quick few minutes that it's going to occur.
Food, music, all that stuff. So how do I find out more information about the Derby? How do I buy tickets and all that stuff?
Okay. The website is southtexasalphaderby.com. Also, we are all what I call Team No Sleep. Okay. You're laughing, but I'm serious. We work very hard. So we also do have hard tickets as well.
Okay.
And Xavier has set up a great link for us, so that way if you have any questions, you can go in and contact that way as well.
Okay.
And then we also have our Facebook page. We also have our Instagram page. We also have a Twitter page. So there's all kind of ways to contact us as well. And tickets still are on sale.
Okay. So can you buy tickets at the door if you don't get them online? I show up that day. Can I get in?
You show up that day? No, we have a contingency plan for people who may show up that also want to experience as well. We're trying to get them to contact us ahead of time before we do the actual closing of. We're prepared to support a limited number of people. Now, our other events, people can show up at the door for everything. We're just the Derby one is where we're trying to make sure we have accurate head count.
So the Derby is Saturday afternoon. So what's going on Friday?
Friday morning, we're going to have our golf tournament. Okay. And that's going to be at Olympia Hills. Okay. So that's going to be there. Friday night is going to be our all-black party. Okay. And
all black people? Oh, what are we talking about?
All black attire.
Oh,
okay. We don't discriminate.
No, we don't discriminate. No. We want everybody to come out. All black attire, all black dress.
Okay. Green is green for us.
There we go. Yeah.
Green is green.
All black attire.
Yes, all black attire. Okay. And that'll be at the Hilton Garden Inn. Okay. There as well. And Saturday is going to be the Derby. Okay. And then we're going to open doors at about 2 o'clock that day. Okay. But we're going to really start the events kicking at about 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Race time is, I think, is around 5:46. Okay. So and then we're going to shut it down probably about 7:15, 7:30. So people can go back and dress. Ladies can get out of those shoes and get dressed. Come back. We're just going to have a throwdown party that Saturday night.
At the
right there at the same place, right at Toma. Okay. Saturday night, throw it down, and then Sunday we're going to have a jazz brunch.
Okay. We're going to get some church in there or something? We're going to be we're going to need some church out this weekend.
No, we ain't gonna leave the church out. Two of our brothers, Bishop Copeland and Brother Bramlett. Okay. They both have churches. They both have early service. Yep. Okay. So you don't have to leave God behind.
Okay. All right. We're gonna need some God after Friday night. I'm just saying.
And if you said it, I did. And if I could, I wanted to come back to something. When he was telling you about the purpose of the Derby and the mentorship, also for scholarship. Each year, the Alpha Educational Fund give over $10,000 worth of scholarships. But we saw a strong need for students after their first year. Currently, we give to students who are just coming out of high school.
Right.
But there's a strong need for students in the second, third, fourth year and graduate students. So this is also a vehicle for that. So it's mentorship and scholarship.
Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
And that's a really interesting twist on it. Being an educator myself, I really like the fact that you're focusing on young folks who have been in college and getting into that second, third, and fourth year of college. How successful have you been able to get those funds out into the right hands?
Well, right now, this is the first year
Okay.
we're doing it. Now, we've always given out scholarships to high school seniors going into college.
Okay.
But this year will be the first year the funds we raise from that, mentorship and scholarship, and we'll be able to get funds directly into second, third, fourth year and graduate school students who need the help.
So where did that, I guess, idea come from? Did you have somebody come to you, man, I'm in my third year, I'm struggling. How did that idea come about?
Well, we saw people struggling. We saw our own folks. We have our own college students. We bringing back UTSA. We got Corpus Christi. We got our own young men also.
Okay.
So it's a strong need for it, and we just noticed within our fraternity, within our chapter, we were supporting people who first started, but we want to support people and get them all the way through.
Right, appreciate it. Well, you heard it from the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated right here in San Antonio, Texas. They're having the Alpha Derby on May
3rd through the 5th.
3rd through the 5th. So there will be some God in there on that Sunday. So make your way out to New Creation Christian Fellowship, wherever you decide to go, because you're going to need it. But men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, I'm Dr. Mateen D. I'm your host of Black Friday Live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
40% of food in America is never eaten.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
First time I tried Vicodin, and it was laying around my mom's house. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Nothing to do this week? Don't miss another event. Go to blacksinsanantonio.com for our event calendar. The home of the largest business directory in San Antonio with an African American focus. Sign up today for our weekly e-blast and text message alerts. Help us make this a better community. Connect, empower, grow.
Hey everybody, welcome to Black Friday Live. I'm your host, Dr. Mateen Diop, and today we have a very special guest in this political season, political climate that we're in. I want to bring to the stage, bring to the rostrum, bring to the desk, my man, Mr. Darrell Boyce, who's running for District 2 for the San Antonio Independent School Board. Welcome, Mr. Boyce.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I want to start off by asking you, you're a native San Antonian, well, not a native, but you kind of grew up here in San Antonio, and you've done a lot of things in the community in the last 30 years or so. Why run for school board? Why now?
I was asked actually 4 years ago for the first time, but out of respect to Mr. James Howard, I really respect him. I love him as a person, as a board member. I decided not to. And when he said that he wouldn't run this time, I said, you know what? I'm going to go on ahead and take the opportunity. I personally feel that the board needs and our community needs someone strong on the board for District 2, and I've been in the community fighting for years and years, and I said, why not? The only effective way we're going to have change in our community is to start with our youth.
Right.
So I said this is a better time than ever to actually.
Right. So you have a crowded field of candidates, and so how do you set yourself apart and be the one folks vote for?
I think my work's in the community so far, and one of the other things is 10 years ago when our school was being talked about closing, I'm the only one of the 4 candidates that were actually went down to the SAISD board meeting and fought for Sam Houston, fought for our community, and I realized the need for Sam Houston in our community. That's what really sets me aside. I know what doors to knock on. I know how to fight for our community, and I know the issues that are going on in our community. I've worked in this community for 28, 30 years, close to, and I have a really good relationship with the people in the community.
So as school districts across the country now are becoming more of what we call a choice district, meaning parents get to choose where they send their children. And when you hear you mentioned Sam Houston High School, when you hear the inner city schools like Sam Houston High School, how do you craft your message to get folks who don't necessarily live on the east side, but how do you get them to bring their children to come to school on the east side?
One of my slogans, and I hate to use the word slogan for the campaign, is restoring faith and building pride. We have to restore the faith in the community that Sam Houston is the school of choice. I feel that as a district, we have almost failed our schools by not advertising the programs that we have. I want to commend you because I did see a video about a week or so ago of you talking about the programs that were at Sam Houston. We need more of that in our school district, and it's going to take the district and the community to come together and actually bridge the gap in order to get some of those parents to come back into our communities and back into Sam Houston.
Is there, in your opinion, is there a way to kind of bring the economic growth and the educational growth? Is there a way to kind of meld those conversations into one, in your opinion?
Well, our school is the very first line of offense I'm going to use. If we have a progressive school, if our school is doing great things, residents will begin to move into our community. And once you begin to get residents, then you'll get business owners and new businesses into our community. So it's very important that we begin to focus on the programs that we're bringing into our schools and also working with our city council people and looking at what resources they have so that we can bring those resources into the school as well.
Exactly. So your graduating seniors this year that are coming out, many of them, all of them actually, are registering to vote. What is your message to them to get them even interested in who runs for the school board?
One of the things that, and I've been able to do that by knocking on doors, is opening up their eyes to some of the things that they see in their community that they actually don't like, and letting them know, hey, this is a process that you have to take in order to change these things. If you want a better community, if you want better for your school, you have to put people in place in order to make these changes happen.
Okay, so in your first, let's say 60 days, if you were to win, what does it look like in the Darrell Boyce administration as a school board member?
One of the things, and I spoke about this earlier, is I want to have a meeting of all of the school principals and administration and teachers, if possible, in District 2, so that we can begin to, 1, start a dialogue, 2, let's bring back some of the school spirit that our schools used to have. And let's have a pep rally. Let's all talk. Let's talk about what's going to better this community. Let's talk about restoring the faith and building the pride back in our schools.
So, in my last question to you, so why do you think that pride and that faith left in the first place? Used to be there, left. What is your opinion on why it left in the first place?
Our community has changed. Leadership in our community has changed so many times, even within the last 5 years. I remember growing up, and I was at Wheatley Middle School, and Sam Houston Band would come into Wheatley Middle School, high-stepping, As a football player at Wheatley, we knew who our favorite football player was on the Cherokee football team, and we have gone so far away from that. I feel like it's our job as a district to promote Sam Houston so that Sam Houston can go and recruit students from our feeder schools. And we have to stop closing our feeder schools. There is an underlying to all of this, and I don't want to give too much away right now. But on April the 18th, our community will be able to see a little bit about my plan and how I actually feel about this community and Sam Houston High School being the gem of this community.
So what's happening on the 18th of April?
It's going to be a community forum held at Sam Houston High School from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you're going to have the SAISD candidates and also the District 2 City Council candidates.
Okay. So, well, we want to wish you luck as well as all the candidates that are running. Wish you much luck. And well, before I go, let me just ask you this one question: what is one thing that you see is the most pressing issue in education on the east side of San Antonio, or just education in general? What's one thing you see is most pressing?
Being able to retain our students.
Okay.
It's
good answer.
That simple.
Good answer.
Yes, sir.
We want to thank Darrell Boyce for coming today, and we wish you luck again. And all the candidates wish you all luck for your future endeavors and all you do. So I want to thank Mr. Darrell Boyce for coming. Wish him luck on his campaign. I'm Dr. Mateen Diop signing off from Black Friday Live. Peace.